never gonna get that fucking matched up, you dick.
I'll let you do it.
You dick. All right. We're cutting that out. Okay.
We're doing good things.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to The Dangerous Show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Episode 3. With your host, Tim Hines, and our guest, Cousin Curtis. Well, it's not actually Cousin Curtis. It's Curtis Stedman.
Yeah. I have two last names. Should we go through it? Do we have enough time for both of those?
We got time. Let's go for it.
Okay. I have two last names. Curtis O'Rourke Stedman. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. How'd that happen?
Proud Irish mother.
Yes.
Yeah. Her name's O'Rourke, and my dad's a Stedman. They're still together, happily married for a really long time. And so all of us kids have both last names. It's unique.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you on.
Thanks, man. It's good to be on.
How did we end up here?
Okay. Well,
Was it Vans or was it music first?
I think it was
Beer first. Actually.
beer first.
Yeah.
Beer first. I think it was Vans after that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was late night bar scene, and you met
Me?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Are we allowed to talk about? We can scrub anything, right? We just can't fill stuff about.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you met my girlfriend Kelly and her friends while I was away. And they were like, hey, we met this guy named Tim. He's great. And he runs this Sprinter van centered mechanic shop. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I own one of those and it's forever needing repairs. So,
Oh, we need to get into that.
yeah, we'll get into that.
Let's get that invoice out.
Get it. Oh, God. So yeah, I think that was it. And then I was going to some other shop and they were doing a good job, but it was just much more convenient to be local and much more meaningful to stay local.
No,
and
we
then
appreciate that.
You and the crew are just awesome and not blowing smoke. Like you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And you can ride your bike down here.
that's a fact. Done it several times.
Lots of times.
Lots of times.
Yeah, in the windstorm and
Yeah.
all that.
It's kind of like going to the doctor and then you leave and you say thank you, but secretly you're like, I hope I never see this person again.
Every time.
Yeah, and then it's like a month later, I'm like, well, something fell off.
The van is hemorrhaging fluid. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's okay, but
Yeah.
can you look at it?
How long has it been doing it? A long time, apparently. Yeah.
Don't worry about it unless it stops.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what they
it.
always used to say on the helicopter. Like, it's fine. It's fine if it's leaking. It's
Yeah.
when it stops leaking that you have a problem.
Yes, ask some more questions then.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody chastised me recently about how many dash lights, because I do these updates from the road. And so I showed the dash lights.
Let's do the run through on the update.
On the
Because
update?
I almost recorded a story today.
You should, dude. It'd be so good.
Hey, everybody, it's
what's going
Tim.
Yes.
Like, I was like, dude, that would be so classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Got a little update here for you.
Everyone. Every time. It's great. Always rocking the adrenaline hoodie, too. I'm like,
well,
yeah. It's
function
my boy.
and form. That's where it's at.
That got you free drinks one
It
night
did,
somewhere.
yeah. It was a free drink and a discount. It was like a locals discount, and I wasn't a local. It was in Frisco,
Okay.
Colorado.
Shout out to Jonna.
Yeah.
My girl.
There you go.
Yeah.
Done.
Hooking it up.
Yep. Yeah. So it was just there, and it was a clear like eye contact to the logo, and then they were like, well,
You're
we're gonna
in.
Get you, we're gonna get you the locals discount here, and I was like, all right, thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, your van, it's got 300 and almost 10,000 miles now.
Coming up on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's still running.
It starts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
It gets an applause every time it starts. Yeah, even
Yeah.
when it doesn't for a little while. Like, it's definitely cold. The glow plugs are either not working or there's only one of them working. I checked the recent codes that are throwing that check engine light, and it kind of helps to pinpoint a few things. But yeah, whenever it's cold, the last most recent problem was in Winter Park, and I had to take this little propane heater.
Oh
and
yeah.
stick
You
it
sent me
under
a
the
video
engine.
of
Yeah.
that. Epic.
Stick it under the engine and let it heat it up from the bottom up
Right.
for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I was worried. I was like, maybe the van explodes. Like, I'm actively engaging fire underneath
Right.
something that's
Insurance
filled with gasoline.
claim. I don't know.
Of course, yeah. And luckily nothing happened, and it started a little bit, later than I wanted it to, but here we are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been rad. It's fun to see it come in. As every time it comes in, it's like, oh, another 20,000 miles is clicked on by. The
Yes.
thing's still going down the road.
In a blink too.
Yeah. And we've done a few cool things. We've done not really that cool. We just
I
did
think
some
they're
like
cool.
new shocks,
Yeah.
new struts.
Yeah.
And what do we do? Wheels and tires.
Wheels and tires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let alone just like bumper to bumper maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah,
of
the standard
routine
maintenance.
services, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
What did you call recently was it the rear diff? Mm-hmm. You described it as,
A science experiment.
yes, chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It smelled terrible.
Right.
Yeah. It was
And
good.
it's not supposed to do that, right?
No,
Okay.
usually you change it before that gets to that point. Right. So I think the first time we serviced it was like, oh, we should have done this the last time.
Right. I should have done that.
So
This is about to be a podcast of everything you shouldn't do with your Sprinter.
no, it's
van.
good. I mean, dude, so many people like drive their Sprinter like 10,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
I mean, you're crushing.
36,000 last year.
Okay, it's not as much as I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're still crushing mileage.
Yeah.
And you've done that consistently for a long, long time in
Yeah.
the van. So
Yeah.
a little background for everyone watching.
Yep.
You're a musician.
I am a musician.
You're in a band.
Mm-hmm.
Talk
Yeah.
about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, name of the
Kind of a big deal.
It's
No,
it's not.
kind
It's
of a
not,
big deal.
yeah.
It's famous.
Nope.
Celebrity.
Hopefully someday.
I had to
This is
pay
what-
him to be here, actually.
This is what we're
Yeah.
going for. Yeah.
Yeah.
I play in a band, and it's a cool group of high energy music. It's like if blues and bluegrass had a baby, and we're actually working on new material, which is going to be awesome. Hopefully, getting it out like June 1st. Hopefully, have the hard copy in hand, and then we'll release everything else in a little staggered fashion online and all that. But it's great. It's called Cousin Curtis. You can find it online. Anywhere you stream music, you can find ours, and it's a whole lot of fun.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
So listening to it is fun, but listening to it and watching it live is a whole nother experience. That's really, I think, where I really got turned on to it and enjoy it because it's entertaining.
Thanks,
it's
man.
super fun.
Yeah.
We did. You guys did a bunch of concerts last year, local stuff too.
Yeah.
Telluride, I think Ridgeway down here.
Yep.
But I went and watched you guys a couple times at San Juan Brews.
Yeah.
Local spot here in town.
It's a great space.
Highly recommend it. My favorite personally is when you play outside. They like set up a stage trailer.
That was cool last
And
summer.
it's fun to have like a beer garden outside and people are dancing and I don't dance, but I did get out there and dance a little.
He danced.
It was horrible.
There's footage somewhere.
It was fucking horrible.
It was the best.
I'm out there in jeans and boots and exactly this because this
Yeah.
is, let's be honest, all I ever wear.
It's called a uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I miss the military for that one reason.
Yeah. What am I wearing today? I don't have to think
I
about
don't
it.
have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's frowned upon if you wear a flight suit to a mechanic shop every day. So I just
Is
stuck
it?
with jeans. Yeah.
Did somebody tell you that, or is this like firsthand experience?
Well, the military frowns on it.
Okay. Got it.
Right.
Yeah. Like impersonating what.
But I
you
loved
were.
wearing a uniform.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you don't have to think about it. Mm-hmm. It's great.
I'm a retired teacher. There's a story there, but there's always like the battle of going back and forth of like having to, or not having to, but like giving the opportunity for the kids to wear uniforms or just dress as they normally would.
Sure.
And it's almost always like a straight split down the middle at the end of it, where it's like some kids are like, yes, we would love to not worry about it. We would love to have a uniform. We would love to not stand out one way or the other, good or bad. And then some kids are like, no, we want our own individuality and whatnot. So
Sure.
It's interesting that.
Wonder what that says about kids, like the direction they're going to go in life.
I don't know. Yeah,
don't
do
know.
a follow-up study.
Yeah.
How did you vote?
30 years
Yeah.
later, like, how did you vote? Like, what do you do for a career? Yeah.
We'll get those numbers and we'll do a part 2 maybe, you think?
Yeah. Probably not.
Probably not. It's going to be a one and done.
Yeah. No, you'll be back on, dude.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I almost brought in my guitar. I was like,
Oh,
dude, I should have it like
yeah.
on a stand and be like, so you're going to play for us, right?
Yeah,
Like, that
I
would
mean,
have
if
been
it's
rad.
just sitting there.
It would, I mean, I meant to bring it, to be honest. So I own a guitar.
Yeah.
Can't play shit
Yet.
yet.
Yeah.
But in all my spare time, that I have running a business and, in between my vacations and
Yeah.
driving my, $300,000 sports cars and all that, I
Yeah.
try to learn how to play the guitar.
Right. Private jets are a really good spot to practice.
Yeah.
at,
So that's
I mean, you do a lot
next
of that.
year
Okay.
with the, the business expansion and all that.
Yeah.
The PJLB, it's on order.
Yep. Love
It's
it.
at the factory.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things take time.
They do. Like, you can't
understand.
rush perfection.
No, you really can't.
But that would have been fun to have the
would've been
guitar
fun,
here.
yeah.
So I bought it last year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, it's probably after your concert. And I was like, dude, I've always wanted to play. I used to play trumpet when I was in school. Played for quite a few years. So I can read music. I can sing relatively well
Yeah.
if nobody's around and in the shower, I like to think I can sing.
Should we do some now?
No.
Okay.
We're not. No.
And we're in the hot seat.
Yeah. Give me a few of these.
Yeah.
Put some women around me. We'll
you
be
go.
singing, all right?
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Uh-huh.
No, so I was like, I'm going to get a guitar and just like campfire song,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Because everybody hates that guy. Like, oh, this fucking guy busts out his guitar. He's singing at the fire. Everybody likes him. So I was like, oh, that'll be cool. It'll be fun. So I bought the guitar. It's sweet. It looks cool.
Yeah.
It like fits my style. Acoustic electric.
Yeah.
Practiced like 4 times. And the following week, like my lead tech quit. Just out of the blue, quit.
Yeah.
And that went, all my free time just disappeared.
Back on the wall.
She gone.
Yeah.
So there I was, just
Yeah.
looking at the guitar every day.
Well, it's there.
It's there.
Yeah. That's step 1. You've got one. Yeah. Step 2.
I'm gonna hang it
find some time.
in the new office. I'm gonna hang it on the wall,
Yeah.
or on a stand in the office. So it's like it's right there. I have no reason to not just spend 5 minutes practicing a couple chords.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's such a catch-22 because like the best way to preserve your instruments is to keep them in the case. However, the best way to practice your instruments is to keep them out of the case.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I kind of embraced like some instruments stay in their case, and those are the ones that go on the road, or those are the ones that are really special to me. Like I still own my first guitar ever.
Wow.
And then the rest of them are out. So it's like I can walk into that room and I'll be like, I'm going to practice the mandolin for 35 to 40 minutes, that kind of thing. And then I'm going to practice acoustic guitar. I'm going to practice slide guitar, resonator, like whatever. And I'm
How
very
many
fortunate.
instruments do you play?
Play like
How
just
many?
have fun with.
Yeah. Are you proficient at?
Okay, that's a good determiner. So proficient would be proficient, of course. Acoustic guitar. I play kick drum. I wouldn't say it's proficient because it just has to go boom, 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 but that's one of the mainstays.
Yeah.
And then harmonica.
Oh,
I would say those are the top 3.
do you perform and play the harmonica and the guitar at the same time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, all 3: harmonica,
Okay.
kick drum, acoustic.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like this.
Yeah.
You just get it's practice, man. It's practice.
Yeah.
10,000 hours.
It's just 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, I actually don't know how many days that is.
It's a lot of days. Depends on how long you work every day.
Yeah, 240 days. Math? I don't know. Anyway,
Aren't you a teacher?
not math teacher.
Dude.
Yeah, retired. I'm a retired English teacher.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's my native language. So
Okay. That's a tough one.
yeah. No, it was cool, man. If we want to dive into that real quick, it was like being able to go to college, knowing that I loved music, but never thinking it was going to be a career. So it was just something that I did on the weekends all throughout school, and then went and got a teaching job in Alaska, taught full time for 4 years. And in the summer months, I'd go on tour. And the tours kept getting better and better, and I just keep traveling, and it just got wild. And at one point, even I was playing in Colorado in the Front Range, and my principal, all the way from the school in Alaska, came to the show. And he was like, this was about 2014. And he's like, hey, you sound great. Had a lot of fun tonight. Are you coming back to teach? And I was like,
Yeah, no.
I told him, I was like, I can't answer that question right now. So I did go back. I taught for another full school year. And then after that, I left and been playing music full time since.
That's
then.
awesome.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And now the best part is like seeing former students at the shows.
Oh, yeah.
And they come and like some of them have kids and
Right.
some of them are all tatted up, and it's just they've grown, and we still know each other. We follow each other online, so I try to keep in communication with them and where they're at, and it's cool, man. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's where all the Alaska stuff that's in your van came from.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Like the license plate. You guys can check out the van, but like the license plate that's in there, and then some of the other swag. It's all Alaska based.
We should someday do a van tour.
Be a short one.
I mean, it's
This is it.
hey.
Yeah.
It's got a couch.
It does have a couch.
It has a lounge couch.
It's
got a bed.
It's got a love seat.
There's
It's got a bed.
vent. Is there a vent?
There is, yeah.
I haven't really gone in the back. I try to stay out of the coach
You can
as
check out
much
the
as I
bed.
can.
It's got a lot of miles on it. It's fine.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hazmat suit.
Yeah. Not like that. Like I drive a lot.
A lot of miles. Yeah, of course. God. When we did the suspension on the back, we did new shocks.
Yeah.
I think I did did I do a story or a
You
reel or
did,
something?
yeah.
Because we pulled your old shocks off, and it was like a dried up cow femur that you'd find in a field
Yeah.
from a decade old
Yep.
cow skeleton. Like that was the shock. It was
Yeah.
just rusted, just gone.
Yep.
I was like, this thing's been near the ocean for a long period of time. And then the Alaska thing, it all makes sense. What part of Alaska were you in?
So 2 different spots. I was in the interior of the state in Tok, Alaska. And if you're looking at the state, it's like 90 miles from the Canadian border, still on the road system, which is a huge selling point up here. And
there's roads to my place. Wow.
Yeah. And then the second spot that I was at was in Juneau, and that's right on the ocean there.
Yeah.
Actually didn't have the van at that point.
Okay.
I don't know. The van's actually never made the trip to Alaska.
Really?
Yeah. For all the times that I've been up and back, the first 4 times were in a truck, 2 different trucks actually. And then I got the van in southern Michigan, and I think it has roots to Ohio.
Okay.
And so that would make sense why the rust is there.
Salt,
a lot of humidity. Just gnarly.
I bought a car from Ohio. Surprisingly solid, but it's actually sitting right there. But if you look closely at the rockers, there's a few spots. Telltale Ohio spots.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's all right.
It's all right. Sometimes you got to get a car from Ohio.
It's like it was Ohio or Portland, and I was like, I'm fucking not going to Portland.
Right.
So Ohio it is.
Done.
Yeah.
I was there trading in a Ford F-150 at this dealership for Ford F-150, like leather seats. It was pretty nice. Had it when I still had a salary, and traded that in. And as soon as the deal was done, the people who own the dealership were like, "Can we ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, sure." They're like, "Why?" And I was like, "Why what?" They're like, "Why are you trading this beautiful Ford F-150
for this lovely
van?" And you could tell that this thing was a rust bucket. They must have painted it. They got it at an auction because the tires had lot rot. Because the tires tread looked good, but it was just like hard plastic at that point.
Dry rot everywhere.
Yeah, it was bad. And I was like, because you don't know what I'm going to do to that van. And it was kind of right before, it was like the precursor to van life really exploding.
Yeah.
And so trying to buy that van with the amount of miles it had on then, now would be astronomical relative to what I was able to buy it for then. Because it didn't have windows in it. It didn't have a vent in it. It was just, it had the
partition?
Yeah, the partition, because it was a Culligan man van. It was used to haul distilled water.
Nice.
And so, they bought it at an auction and then slapped a price on it, and I found it on Craigslist.
What did you pay for it?
$13,900.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you calculated out the cost of ownership of that since you bought it?
No.
I mean, that's probably such a good purchase, honestly.
I think it's a great purchase because it was like after that, like aside from the what did you say was the phrase? The cost of ownership. Cost of ownership. Yeah.
Yeah.
So aside from that, it's been a mobile storage unit. So it's like living in spots where there is no garage. We were just in an apartment on like a 3rd floor in Denver. We had a 20-foot by 20-foot log cabin on Wilson Mesa. There was no space for any of the gear, and so the van was insulated, fairly safe. A lot of the gear just lived in the van.
No kidding.
Yeah. So it's been well worth it despite all of its flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean the guys at Coleman's where we took it to try and get it aligned.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, it's got 310,000 miles on it. I mean, it's fine. It's just some of the stuff is worn out.
Yeah.
Like
some stuff is like, please.
Like, it's just there's nothing." The guy was like, "It's newer than all of my vehicles."
Okay.
But it's just, he's like, "It's just some of the shit's worn out. That's all." Yeah.
Is this is kind of a segue.
Oh.
Do you have
No, it's just like ball joints,
okay,
tie rod ends, the steering rack.
Steering rack's a new one. What about like sway bar?
No, sway bar's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
But it just adds up. So, he's like, just let me know what he wants to do.
Should we do this? I haven't seen this. Do you have like an itemized? Can we look at it?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Let's look at the dangerous situation. All right, so dropped the van off last week, went to Seattle to film a music video, came back, and there's some more stuff going on with the van. Just to
lower control arm ×2.
Okay.
Rack and pinion because it's blown.
Okay.
I mean, the rack and pinion is the one thing he's like, if he didn't want to do that, you could save some money doing that.
Okay.
Skipping that. But definitely the control arms. Flush power steering system that comes when you replace the rack.
Okay.
Because there's a ton of play in that worm gear is the deal. Hence you can move the steering wheel like halfway around before it engages.
Catches. Yeah. I just thought it was
fine.
Taking his time. I thought
it's taking its time.
It's chill. It's a chill ride.
Mm-hmm. Outer tie rod. passenger side.
Okay.
The big one is the ball joints.
Yeah.
Both lower ball joints are bad. Now they have been replaced, because they're aftermarket.
Yeah.
You replace them at some point in time,
Yeah.
but they're worn out.
They're ready to go.
So they couldn't align it because there was so much play in everything.
Yeah.
that, you can't. You could align it sitting on the rack, but as soon as you go out and drive it, everything moves.
Yeah.
They got like 3/4 of an inch of play out of that.
Wow.
Passenger side, I think, was the worst one. No, driver side, lower left
Okay.
front.
So here's a good shop question for you. Would that lead to inconsistent wear and tear on tires?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I feel like I've eaten through tires before their warranty's up.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that would be why.
Yeah.
That and the tires, the wheels were so rusted they weren't holding air pressure. So it's probably like a perfect storm of.
But you have brand new wheels and tires now.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah. It's
Fresh.
like wearing Adidas socks with Nike shoes. That's what's going on
most
right
people
now.
are like, at least that, we work on their vans, they're like, oh yeah, get rid of those wheels and tires. Let's put on this ridiculous aftermarket set of huge tires and different wheels. And we're like, well, do you want to keep your old ones? And they're like, no, just get rid of them for me.
Yeah.
So we have them sitting in the Connex. And we usually sell them for like a shop fund, for lunches or beer money or whatever. So we had stacks of them in the Connex, and you're like, hey, my tire's leaking. Like, can you have anything old? And I was like, bro, check this out. He's like, kid in a candy store in the Connex. Yeah, I'll take those.
It was so
Yeah, it's
funny.
awesome.
So there's a few different stacks. We walk in there, and the first one is like 18-inch wheels, chrome and black, and Navi tires, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Too flash. We got to work our way down. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think we went middle of the road, and that's
Yeah, it's
still
all
like upper
matte
class.
black.
Yeah.
They have a Mercedes emblem on them. I mean, they're nice.
They're amazing.
Yeah, some KO2s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And then we did new struts, so it's probably going to feel really good.
It probably
compared to what it was.
Yeah, aside from everything that's on that list, it's probably I'll be like night and day.
Yeah. Oh well.
Cool. Yeah.
All the guys were like, yeah, honestly, they're like, we would just put the money in it and fix it because you're going to buy a new one for what, $60,000 or more. Oh God. So, yeah, we'll.
That's the thing too. Is like, yeah, I don't know. The whole like nickel and dime quote is one thing, and I try not to latch onto that too much because it still starts, it still runs, and when we're driving down the road, we don't need anything fancy. We just need to go from point A to point B, and it gets ridiculously good gas mileage relative to anything else.
Yeah.
So
anything else with that cargo capacity?
With that amount of cargo capacity, yeah. And like we're not going fast. If we do, then we have to. But I mean, in general, it's just like just go. Just be a locomotive.
Keep moving.
That goes highway miles, winter, summer, spring, fall. Like we don't stop touring. So it's just like what's necessary. It'd be great to be able to pull the trigger on a new van. Not possible right now.
Didn't you go look at them?
Yeah, it was the biggest tease ever, man.
And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, this is what we got," and you get, So here's the price breakdown, and so do you want to go ahead and do this today? And you're like,
I laughed. I was like, absolutely not, dude. I was like, look at me, look at what I'm driving. I was like, what can I trade that in for? And he was like, no, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, are we talking like $200? Like, what do you think? And he's like, maybe. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's old. It's rust shot. There's a lot of things wrong with it. It's custom built for what I need, not for what anybody else needs. Like,
it's got a casting couch in it.
Yeah.
That could be a selling point for the right buyer.
I think so.
There's a buyer for everything, dude.
Yeah, and like if you wanted to gut it, it's going to take you a lot less time.
Somebody is going to buy my totaled van.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Somebody's going to.
Yeah, it could have been me.
We could actually. That's a good idea.
Well, I'm not against it.
I should pull up the auction and like see what it's going for.
Is it at auction right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All
right. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. We'll put a link in the because people are going to bid it up, so we don't want to.
Yeah, that's
we don't
right.
want to tell them.
Okay. All right.
Keep an eye on that. I mean, it's going to go down the road just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just cosmetics.
Well, that's what
and
I'm
you've got a
driving.
ton of aftermarket shit on there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Plus, it's like double the space of your van because it's long wheelbase.
Bunk beds, Tim.
Yeah.
Bunk beds.
So much room for activities.
Hey, yes. Tell you what, like one of the largest expenditures is food and hospitality. So it's like trying to find a way to cook for yourself while you're on the road, and you don't have to get a hotel room or a campground spot or whatever. If there was a way to sleep 2 to 3, 4 at the very most, but like 2 to 3 bodies in a van and seatbelts, that'd be huge. Because last summer we were on tour, man. We were on tour with 4 people in the van and 2 seatbelts. So somebody was surfing the bed at all times, just like back there,
ready to be a human missile through the windshield.
Reading a book, like just be like, "Hey, it's a little hot back here." Like, Nick, I'm talking to you, buddy.
Quit whining, Nick.
Yeah,
Jesus.
well, I know it was pretty hot.
Okay,
yeah, it's warranted. So it's just like, there's no AC in the back. Nothing travels. The AC in general doesn't really work. I got to recharge that. I've been thinking about that for like 4 years now.
Right.
But I mean, it just seatbelts and bunk beds, and now we're living that lush life.
Yeah. Which one's Nick? What?
Nick's a wild man. He's a percussionist, harmonica player, banjo player.
Jesus.
He's based out of Detroit, and whenever we go back to Michigan, we scoop him up and steal him for as much as we can.
Okay.
And then Rachel, the fiddle player, lives in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Damn.
And so whenever we tour in Alaska, she's with us there, and we're usually riding around in her car.
Okay.
She puts up with us. And then Jordan, he's in Seattle, and he plays electric guitar like nobody else.
And who else is here in town? Who played with you the other night?
Yeah, so the other night there's like a rotating cast, and it's so fun. So Donnie Morales is a wild man as well, an incredible singer-songwriter, wonderful voice, and harmonica player. And so whenever he's available, it's like, Donnie, do you want to jump in? It'd be great to have you.
Sure.
And
kind of another local legend. Basically.
Yeah. Oh, he is he is the local legend in my opinion. Like, everybody knows who Donnie is, and Donnie knows everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think he and I have only played 4 shows total together since being here, and 3 of which were 2 weekends ago. 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago. Yeah. Brooke went.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? Because she's like got the hots for him. Brooke, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Just damn. She's like, I know. She's like, there's a really cute guy that played with Curtis the other night.
Well, get in line, and I'm also in line.
We're gonna go out. I was like, girl.
Yeah,
you
Danny.
Go. Danny.
Yes.
Danny.
He is tall and dastardly handsome and incredibly talented.
I hate those guys.
I know, dude. Just like save some for the rest of us.
Seriously, guys.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. He's like the Chris Hemsworth of banjo players.
I hate him already.
Yeah. Wonderful singing voice.
Does he wear a hat?
And that's it.
It's fucking
just a hat.
I hate it.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Banjo covers everything else.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Donnie Morales is awesome. There's a whole group. Chris Harden on the bass guitar is incredible. Mike Enriquez on the bass guitar is incredible. Might be linking up with another Montrose local here in July for a festival at Copper Mountain. So it's fun being able to mix it up and have different people and different players, because no matter what instrument you play, everybody has their own style to it. So it's like, you and I could sit down and play guitar, and we're going to have 2 different voicings of that guitar.
You're going to play guitar. I'm going to watch and drink beer. That's how that's going to go.
Do you want lessons?
Yeah.
I'll find somebody to give them to you.
Yeah. As long as she's hot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bruce, I know Bruce. She'd do it. Anyway, that is the coolest part of being able to like jump in with other people who play instruments the same as you or different from you. And it's just great. It's like, hey, the music we're playing is not complicated. It's 3, maybe 4 chords.
Oh.
And it's like different variations of those chords, but there's not a whole lot of intricacy in my mind to what we're doing fundamentally.
This is coming from somebody who's played 5 million hours.
True, but
it's easy.
I still can't read music. And
it's easy.
Can, so, yeah. I got kicked out of band. I was
What?
asked to leave. But anyway, it's just fun. It's a lot of fun. That's what music is. It's fun.
What's your least favorite part about like this life during tour season, life on the road? Like, what's the least favorite part?
The admin shit.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
financials,
especially
all that crap.
Financials, I don't mind. Like having a handle on that. And
I mean, how do you take that much cash home is what I want to know. Like, you have an armored truck?
Honestly, in the early days, it was a lot of cash, and now it's not so much. Because now it's like a lot of like contract-based. You're selling tickets. There's no guarantee. So you're signing a contract that says, not to get too in the weeds on this one, but like your gross walkout potential is X. and then your net walkout potential is Y, and these are all of the expenses in between. And that's if you sell out the entire venue. So we have to go into it with a mind frame of like, the onus is on the venue and us. Because if we do well, it's because the venue did well. If the venue does well, it's because we helped bring people there, whatever it is. And so we're just trying to sell tickets. Like we are transitioning from a set guarantee of payout for shows predominantly to selling tickets. And there's a huge risk reward factor there, especially when you get into new markets. Like we'll be traveling to Boise, Idaho this summer. We'll be going
That's
to
a cool
Montana. I'm excited.
Boise's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're bouncing around Colorado way more
Good.
this year than last year, like between the Front Range and here over into the greater Salt Lake area. And a lot of those shows are ticketed shows, and we only make money if we sell tickets. So it's a fun challenge that way. So it was a tangent from like carrying around cash, but yeah, there's not a lot of cash flowing around that much anymore.
Do people still like come up on the stage and throw cash in a bucket or a hat or
Show
guitar
to show.
case?
Yeah, I like to not put out a tip. I hate putting out a tip jar in general. Like I don't like asking for money or like soliciting for money or like source funding or group funding or whatever. Like for whatever it is, maybe it's just like Northern Michigan roots of like, if you want something, go work harder, get another job or whatever.
Nobody cares. Work harder.
Yeah, that. So it's like, that's where my mind's at. But I love the ticketed shows because people paid a ticket price to get in. They shouldn't have to tip. We should just do what we do, and they loved it, so they bought a ticket for whatever, $20 or something like that. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So when you're not touring, like what's the most exciting thing you do in the summer? Like what do you look forward to the most? Being on the road. Like downtime, just chill time.
Downtime?
What do you like to do?
Yeah. If I'm home, it's hanging out with the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the best. Like being with them and just like going for hikes, going for walks, hanging out with friends is probably the best. So friends and dogs.
You have like bonfires at your house, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, we try to do
fun.
those as much as we can. We like to play games. We like to host. It's just like we come from a background of where people were always hosting us. We lived on the road for a while, so it was like we were just very lucky with the folks that we met while we were living in a tiny house, traveling otherwise. And so now we're in a spot where it's like we are able to host. Right. And it's fun to be like, the door's open. Invite whoever needs to be there, wants to be there. If we can feed you, we will. If we can't, we'll tell you. Like,
there's like a group of people that I met before I met you. Like I knew Kelly.
Yeah.
And then this entourage of girls that just lived at your house when you were gone.
There's kind of a rotating door.
Yeah. I was like, what's the deal here?
Yeah. It was just nice to...
There's just always a group, and they're like, hey, come over for breakfast the next morning.
Yeah.
Like, do y'all live here? What?
Sure.
What is it? Yeah.
Everybody lives at our house when it's 3 a.m. and they don't want to go
everybody's
home.
from Michigan.
Yes.
Everyone.
Mitten State.
Yeah, dude. You have like brought a massive influx of Michiganians to Montrose.
I don't know if we brought it. I think Montrose brought
you did.
it. Yeah.
So why Montrose?
Montrose is great. Like for us personally or for Michiganders? What do you think?
Michiganders, I think. Sunny? That's the big thing? Like just not the big storm systems? Or?
Yeah. Well, no, just not cloudy. Like Michigan is dark and gray for a majority of the year. And I love Michigan at times, but it's like you come out here and you fall in love with the desert. You fall in love with the climate, the people, the ability to go outdoors and do whatever you want without having to worry about sleet or hail or snow or rain. And we still have some of that stuff out here, obviously. Like it snowed like 1.5 feet not too long ago.
This winter was a little ridiculous.
It was a bit much, but hey, go water table. So yeah, I think I don't know, I think it attracts a certain clientele from a lot of different states, and we're just stoked that there's a bunch of Michiganders around, because everybody can be like, oh, where are you from? And then they hold up the hand and they're like,
over here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. It's cool to be here. And for us personally, it just made a lot of sense. Yeah. Kelly's killing it. She's running a great clinic. And
what does she do? Kelly is your partner?
Yeah. And she's running a behavioral clinic. Okay. Mostly early childhood special education here in town. And like I think as soon as the doors open, there was a wait list.
Awesome.
There's just such a need in this area. And so she's in charge of that. She's a clinical supervisor.
Okay.
Yes. There's there's like there's a nomenclature to like what she does, and so many abbreviations and acronyms and initialisms. Like, it's nuts. Yeah.
Kelly's like my number one rep when it comes to gear.
Yeah.
I gave her a hoodie like a year ago.
Yeah.
Literally every time I've seen her, she's in the hoodie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, it's a good hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if she's ever taken it off, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably getting smelly at this point.
Hopefully she doesn't watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next? Where are you going next?
Chilling here until summer kicks off. June 1st is really the beginning. And so that weekend, it's local Colorado stuff. And then up to Alaska for about 10, 11, 12 days, something like that.
Okay.
And then back here for some more local stuff through early July. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see you at San Juan Brews.
TBD.
Okay.
But definitely, so what we're really trying to do now is gravitate, like I was saying earlier, like more towards ticketed shows. And then outdoor concert series are really crucial, especially in the summertime in Colorado, because everybody's outside.
Right.
So we'll be playing the Mountain Air Series in Ouray, June 1st, that Thursday. The second will be up in Palisade doing something similar. And then the Bluebird Theater in Denver.
Wow.
Playing with a couple of great bands there. Really excited to get a foot in the door at that spot. And then anything else around this area throughout the rest of the summer is, I'm pretty sure it's outdoors. I'd have to look at the calendar. My mind's kind of like spinning on dates and like deadlines. And
Yeah, you came in today and you were like...
Yeah, I came in like straight
chugged a beer.
Yeah, sat down on the couch.
I was like, you all right, bro?
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
Well, yeah, no. It's like, are you okay? No. Are there good problems? Yes, kind of.
Kind of.
It's
Yeah.
we cannot keep enough merchandise on the merch table.
That's rad. I mean,
It's great.
It's a great problem.
It's still a problem though. That's the bummer part.
Exactly. You know, I say that all the time when it comes to my business. You know,
Yeah.
because customers come in and friends and stuff. They're like, "Oh, you're staying busy." I'm like, "Dude, I'm swamped. I can't keep up." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's a good problem to have." And I'm like, "It's a problem,
Still a
though.
problem.
Still, you know, you
Yeah,
gotta work
yeah.
through that."
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not complaining, but
No.
yeah, it would be worse if you like open the doors and you're like, well, where are all the vans that need
100%
and fixing? Like that would be a problem.
100%.
So, yeah, it's what's the line from Triple X? Samuel L. Jackson to Vin Diesel. You don't watch that movie on a regular basis?
I need to brush up on that. It's been a
Okay,
minute.
yeah.
I've been stuck on the Fast and Furious, episodes. So,
You want to go to the drive-in on Sunday? I'm going with a group.
dude, I'm gonna be in Flagstaff.
Classic.
I think we're gonna go on Wednesday next
Okay.
week.
Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Fast and the Furious or Fast X.
Fast
excuse
X.
me. And
Vin Diesel and what's the guy's name?
Oh, Jason Momoa. It's the whole cast. It's the whole
Everything.
cast. Yeah, everybody's in there. Is
The Rock in there again?
Gosh, I don't know if he's on the poster, but leave it to The Rock to just kind of show up and say something ballsy.
It'll
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, Dwayne is a fan of the cast. He's a fan of the cast. He watches this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Dwayne
Yeah.
The Rock Johnson.
He's gonna get a van one of these days, and we're gonna modify it.
Yeah, to fit.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to put really burly suspension on it to hold his
Yes.
huge ass. So.
Yeah,
He-
yeah. It could be his mobile van of weightlifting.
dude, that'd be a
Yeah.
wild guy to meet.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Oh my god, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's get him on.
Let's get him on. Let's
We'll,
get him on the
we'll
cast.
tag him in the comments here.
Absolutely. He can't ignore it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know where that segue could. Oh, the driving. Oh, yeah. Triple X. Sorry.
Yes.
Tracing it back. It was you're a victim of your own success.
Oh.
And that's Samuel L. Jackson talking to Vin Diesel.
Victim of your own success.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the merch thing, man. It's crazy how much money you can sink into merch.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a guaranteed return. It's almost like it's going to sell. You just don't know how soon it's going to sell. And then if you have finite space for storage, that's the part that I'm always bummed out about because I'm inundated with the sizes that don't sell as quickly as the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel pressure to be like, give it away.
Yeah.
We don't have space in the van for one box of shirts, let alone half a box of shirts that won't sell because it's extra small and double XLs. And so it's like, okay, find a funny way to market this at a show and get rid of it, get it out of here, that kind of thing. But yeah, working on new shirt designs, new album. There's just a lot in the works right now, which is super exciting, and trying to figure out how to make it all happen and still pay the bills and
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
We sell some merch to customers that come in, but most of our merch, especially this latest run of Dangerous apparel, we're shipping it out all over the country. We actually shipped some stuff to the UK, which is rad.
Yeah.
That dude's, shout out to our fans in the UK.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I laugh because somebody emailed or text, I think, a screenshot of like an order on my website for like shirts and then the shipping. And they're like, $25 is absolutely ridiculous for shipping. I can't believe you're trying to, like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to buy this. And I was like, or no, it's $21. I was like, oh, that's funny. I actually spend $25 to send it out, plus my time to, or my help's time to like pack it. And we're
Take
not
it
a
to
merch store,
Yeah.
you know, and then we got to go drop it off at FedEx. Like,
Meanwhile, we're trying to change somebody's oil and put a lift kit on this thing. Yeah.
it's
my
like
gosh.
$21, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
It's like, yeah, that's what it costs. We're not Amazon Prime.
This is what it costs.
Yeah. Dude, it's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah. Are you the one that's like driving to the post office? You got somebody to
Well,
help
we
you out
do.
with that?
We have FedEx come pick up.
Okay, good.
So that's why I use FedEx for everything. But you know, I don't know if it's the cheapest shipping option. I'm not sure.
I think it
but
depends.
it cost me like $20 to $25, depending on where it's going for a FedEx pickup, which is crazy.
I would say that's probably pretty industry standard, but it's just one of those things where it's like it depends on where it's going.
Yeah,
it's like I've tried to ship stuff to Alaska like through DHL, and they're like, yeah, it's going to be this much, and I was like, why? And they're like, we don't go to Alaska, and I was like, well, then lead with that. That'd be great. Like, let me know. And I don't know if they do now. This was a while ago.
Alaska's tricky.
Alaska is tricky.
We have a customer that lives up there, and they drove their van up.
Yeah.
And they needed a couple little parts that weighed almost nothing.
Yeah.
And it was like $85 to ship it to Homer.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we'll pass.
Yeah. It's nuts.
It was double the price of the parts.
Oh, wow.
For shipping. Yeah.
That's nuts.
But then to ship to the UK, it
yeah,
was like $65.
See?
Easy.
That's not bad. That's crazy.
You don't think about all these little weird things that like suck up so much money and time.
Absolutely.
You're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make hoodies. This is gonna be rad, and then we're gonna sell them.
Yeah.
And people are gonna love them.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, we got the art fee, like the design fee on the art, and then like the print setups, and this whole process, and then I'm paying $300 for shipping from the supplier to me for all the shirts.
Yeah.
And then we gotta pay somebody to like fold them and put them on the shelf.
Right.
And then I get to print the labels and, like, hey, here's the stuff to pack. And then somebody packs it, which I'm paying them to do that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild just for a shirt. I mean, it's rad. I love it. It's great advertisement.
Yeah.
And I get super stoked when people like post photos with our gear on. I think Marissa just did a contest today, actually.
I saw that was like post one, you might get into Van Wild.
Yeah. So I think we're going to do like several of those contests throughout the next couple months. I think July 15th. We're doing the drawing. So everybody's name gets thrown into a pot.
Sweet.
And then whoever wins gets a free entry to Van Wild this year. Which will be fun. Which you guys are playing at.
That's right. I was
super
like, can we
stoked.
talk about Van Wild?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
All right. Van Wild. If you're a fan of this podcast, seriously consider coming to Van Wild. I didn't get to go last year and I had FOMO. Like,
where were
FOMO.
you? You were playing somewhere, right?
Somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. You weren't even in town.
No, last year it was nuts. I was in town 12.5% of the entire summer. It was dumb.
We actually planned the event around your schedule this year. We were like, what weekends are you available to play?
Well, thanks.
Yeah. No, we're stoked.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be there. Mm-hmm. Neon Sky's coming back.
Stoked for that.
Yep. So we've got 3 days of activities.
Yes.
4 nights of camping.
Okay.
It's going to be rad.
Cool.
And
cool.
Local vendors for food.
Nice.
Super fun time.
Okay.
Leno Dubois winery is coming. We're doing wine tasting again.
Okay.
Local brews. It's just a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
So you're gonna have to hang out. Bring the van.
Yeah, I think So I'm playing that Friday.
I think so.
Saturday for you.
Right.
Friday playing in Salida, but that's going to be an out and back. So I'll try and come back after the show and then just be here all day Saturday and chilling on Sunday. I don't think I'm doing anything on Sunday.
It's going to be rad.
Yeah. And the offer still stands. Like if you guys do an excursion or something like that, I'm happy to like
play on the top of a mountain somewhere.
Of a van or like somewhere epic. Like I'm all in.
So there's a guy, he's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Jason with Canyon Adventure Vans. Jason, if you're watching, this dude just offered to play on top of a van. Jason makes really cool systems for vans, like different storage solutions and stuff like that. But he's got this lounge system for the roof. It's like a rooftop lounge with an umbrella and all this shit. I'm like, who's going to use that? This guy.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have a concert on the mountain.
Yeah.
Jason, you need to make it here.
Yeah. Or we'll come get your van, but
yeah,
I shouldn't say that. I don't know you, Jason, but
Yeah, no,
cool.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Hell yes.
And then we're going to do a shop warming party.
Cool.
When we move into the new shop.
Yeah. Call me.
Yeah. So it might be like spur of the moment kind of deal. I'm thinking sometime in July, but we'll see.
Okay.
It's right now we're like, day to day, like, it's going to be June 1st, it's going to be June 15th. Who knows?
Sure.
There's still a few things to tidy up, but I need to do a video update over there.
Yeah.
Because it's exciting. We should walk through it real quick when you leave.
I would love that.
Because it's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous.
I bet. Yeah.
Excited but nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard a good quote recently, and hopefully I don't butcher it, but it was basically about these moments right now where like you're feeling nervous, you're feeling anxious, and the way to course correct that is basically like telling yourself, this isn't fear, this is adrenaline coursing your body, preparing you for the extraordinary things that you are about to do.
Okay.
And you are about to do something extraordinary.
There we go.
Period.
Boom.
And that was it.
Write that down.
Yeah. And that was from another singer.
Did they actually say adrenaline in there?
Yeah, adrenaline was the words. Yeah.
I like this quote.
It was the lead singer from Duran Duran. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that was the pep talk. He had a couple of mantras, but that was the pep talk backstage before hitting the stage of like, this isn't fear. This isn't nervousness.
So those guys get nervous when they go play shows.
I think.
Do you get nervous when you play?
It's different. It's like I think sometimes nervousness gets confused with like stage fright or like at least in my mind, like you're thinking of like, I have to give a presentation to my class and I'm in, middle school. And that's where like, I'm so nervous in my mind comes from. And it's like, yes, that was then. Now it's like it's totally different factors. I get anxious and excited about things that are completely unrelated to what I'm about to do. Let the songs work. Mm-hmm. Well, I put the time and effort into those songs. They are what they are. They're not going to change in that moment. Then they really shouldn't change in that moment because that's probably when mistakes are going to happen. And maybe they're happy little mistakes. Little Bob Ross is on the stage. Yeah, yeah. So it's like that's not the part that gets me anxious or excited. It's everything else that could potentially go wrong. Like a little bit of Murphy's Law of whatever can happen will happen. Mm-hmm. Or it's like, oh my gosh, I ate something spicy for lunch and it's not doing well.
This is not good.
Yeah. Or like I needed to pee, or my voice is shot, or I'm exhausted and now I have to smile and put on the thing and do the stuff. And like
just doing this little like exercise and creating a podcast for me has been very eye-opening to like, this is a very basic production here. We're filming with an iPhone.
Yeah.
I've got a high-end recorder here.
Yeah.
But like, dude, there's so many things to remember, sync up the audio, make sure the video's rolling, make sure your phone has battery. Oh yeah, we're good, bro. Okay. Fuck off.
Too soon?
Dude, twice now. Now I've done that. God.
It's the best of us.
No, it's terrible. Yeah, I'm making sure it never happens again.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. And I can imagine like having a production where you have multiple musicians and on a stage with all these instruments, all these chords and speakers and stuff. I mean, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's like, what if all of a sudden in the middle of a song feedback happens?
Yeah.
And it's like, if we're running sound, that's on us and we can try to figure it out. If somebody else is running sound, we're just up there.
What if the generator dies?
What if the generator's not set at the right voltage? That's happened before.
Really?
And like blew gear. Like the speakers wouldn't work because the generator was pushing too much power through them and the failsafe was cutting them off. And like power adapters got fried. I mean, there was one show we were playing, dude, in a barn, and it started to rain, and it was a great show. And I just looked over at one point in time, and the power strip was floating in a puddle of water. I didn't even know they could float, and it's just sitting there, and like water's kind of spilling over it.
This is fine.
We got done with that song, and I was like, "We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a little break here, real quick, and we'll be right on back." And just like unplugged it and moved it, and started to like close the door. It was nuts. So it's fun, man. Yeah, it's fun. It's always an adventure. That's the best part.
Man, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come and watch you somewhere outside of town.
Yeah.
This year. Like go to Denver maybe for
Alaska.
that show. That'd be
Just
great.
Come to Alaska.
Dude, I want to go back.
Yeah. But yes, Denver is great. Hey,
Alaska's bittersweet, bro. I know.
it's one of those.
No, I do love Alaska, certain parts of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I do not miss the North Slope.
And there's reason behind that.
Yeah. Have you been up there?
No, not that far.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the furthest north you've been?
North of Fairbanks.
Okay.
But not past the Arctic Circle or anything.
I mean, it's
like that.
pretty desolate up there, though. You
Yeah.
get not far out in Fairbanks. It's not a lot going on.
No, it's like once you get out of the city center, then
Yeah.
you're kind of on your own. I would like to do that Dalton to Dempster highway though.
Mm-hmm.
Like come down like Prudhoe all the way down and then up to like Anuviac, Northwest Territories. I think that'd be a cool road trip.
It'd be cool to experience it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
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 Just to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Shake the Etch-a-Sketch. Get back up there. Pretend you were never there. Don't go to the North Slope.
Yeah. No.
You've already been there.
Been there, done
There's
that.
some other spots. Go to Homer. Bring those parts to those.
Been to Homer.
Oh, you've been to Homer? Okay,
Yeah, I've
good.
been to Homer.
What do you think? Did you go
It was
down
cool.
on the spit?
Oh
Have
yeah.
some fun?
Oh yeah. It was cool.
Good.
Yeah, I liked Homer.
Yeah.
That was so basically I went up to Alaska to work,
Yeah.
and I had an injury, a motocross injury that required like a second surgery. I like injured my back
Okay.
riding motocross
Yeah.
before I was supposed to leave to go up there. And I'm like, oh, I'm cool. We'll be fine. Right. I had surgery like the next day. They put a big drain in my back. I had like a huge hematoma. Damn. So a couple weeks go by, I'm putting off the trip up and I'm like keen to get up there and go to work. This is like a career move. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to Alaska. It's a big deal. I would want to impress, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like pushing the limits on when I can go. So I tell my boss, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. We're good to travel. Right. So I jump on the plane and then fly up there. And by the time we landed in Anchorage, I could feel the hematoma on my back like swollen to twice the size. Like it started bleeding internally again and just swelled up. When the injury happened, I had like half of a basketball on my lower back.
Oh my God.
It was massive. It looked like I was pregnant from the rear. Like it was gnarly. So I get off the plane and I'm like, yep, this is not good.
Yeah.
Like, pants won't fit. Like this is bad. So I go to like check in with work, see my boss. I'm like, hey, could I get a ride to urgent care? You know, because I got this thing.
Yeah.
And he was super cool. So it took me to urgent care and they're like, yeah, we're going to put you into surgery tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so they opened me up, put another drain in. And again, I was up there. I was like, I'm not flying again for a while.
Right.
So they basically like put me on light duty for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And so on the weekends, I rented a car and then just drove around. So I drove down to Homer and like checked out all
Yeah.
these cool places. Alyeska.
Yeah.
Like the ski mountain. I
Yep,
checked
yep.
out that place.
Girdwood.
Yeah. It was super cool. Took a bunch of photos. I like doing some photography. So it was a good time, but it definitely went a little stir crazy.
Yeah.
Just being stuck in a hotel room.
Yeah. 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 What hotel?
It was like staff housing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess it wasn't a hotel. It was just like a
There's not that many.
duplex
so
with
was it
several
at
rooms.
Were you at Captain Cook? Like-
No, I did have to go to a hotel for a couple of days because the staff house was full. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool to travel a little bit and like have a little time to check stuff out. But again, being light duty,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't go do the things I want. I can't go skiing. Like it's not that
'Cause
fun.
you can't hike. Like,
Can't really go hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like sitting around in a car,
Right.
but it was pretty.
Yeah. It's one of the best spots.
I have been up to Talkeetna though.
Yeah.
Yeah, east like Talkeetna is super rad.
Uh-huh.
East of Talkeetna, there's a Triangle Lake or Boomerang Lake. I can't remember what it was called.
Okay.
But my girlfriend has a sister up there, and her and her husband have a fly-in lodge. So the only way to get in there is snow machine in the winter, or a float plane in the summer, or a helicopter.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, super beautiful. So we spent like 5 days at the lodge, rented a motorcycle in Anchorage, and then we just toured around on the motorcycle for like another 4 or 5 days.
Perfect.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
In the summertime.
Dude, Talkeetna is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. We play
Place is
there
cool.
every summer.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Cool.
At the Fairview.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that you're sleeping up above.
Yeah.
So the Fairview is a very small spot.
Yep.
I don't know if you went in there, but it's where the mayor, who is a cat, goes to have a martini.
Yes.
Which is just water out of a martini glass. But
Yes.
yeah, the band lodging is called the Beat Lab, and it's upstairs above
The Beat Lab.
Yeah, upstairs above.
It's like Step Brothers quote.
Yeah, it must be. I don't know where it came from.
No,
but
it is a Step Brothers quote. He's got the drum set upstairs. He's like, welcome to the Beat Lab. I'm going to put my nuts on your drum set.
Don't you judge it. It's just like that. It's just like that.
Yes.
So you just never stop playing. Like the show starts at at 9 and midnight rolls around and the bar is still packed. And you're like, if we leave, everybody knows that we're just going to be
right there. So
upstairs.
you're just going to play.
So we just keep playing.
That's awesome.
Those are great shows. Yeah. Yeah. Talkeetna is great. This is awesome.
Yeah. I would not mind going back to that part of Alaska for sure.
Yeah.
Or like go on a fishing trip or a hunting trip or something. It'd be
That'd
super
be cool.
fun.
That'd be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of what's it called? The Bone Collector, I think.
Like the movie?
No, it's this guy. I heard about him on Rogan's podcast.
Okay.
He interviewed this dude. He's from Alaska. I couldn't tell you geographically exactly where he's at, but it's not far from like Anchorage, Fairbanks,
Okay.
somewhere in there. But he's like a ton of acreage of mining property.
Okay.
And on this certain 5-acre section of his property, they found mammoth bones, like mammoth tusks, mammoth
This
bones.
sounds familiar. Okay.
And they just started excavating, and it's been years now. They've found like hundreds and hundreds of bones, thousands of bones, I guess.
Damn.
Hundreds of tusks. Like just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Entire mammoth skeletons. There's some kind of crazy tiger or wolf or something that they found.
Okay.
Like, I mean, super cool stuff. It was pretty interesting. I would love to go check that out.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Like,
That sounds wild. That
I mean,
sounds-
it's like a 3-hour pod with Joe that this guy did, and it was just mind blowing. You're like, just all these bones in this one concentrated spot.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Like why? Why that spot? Was
Yeah.
this burial ground, or were they all brought there?
Yeah.
Or like yeah.
And then he on the podcast revealed, like, I guess 100 years ago or so, somebody found a bunch of bones from that property, and they put them on rail cars, and they were going to take them to the Smithsonian, I believe,
Okay.
and in New York.
Yeah.
And I'm going to butcher the story, but something happened with the train. They needed to get rid of the bones. They just dumped them into the Hudson, apparently.
Well-
And then he has like all on record.
Yeah.
It's like on official documents. Like, this is where we dumped them. And so he told that on the podcast. And then it was cool because I follow quite a few people on YouTube, and a bunch of people started like diving. Yeah.
To the Hudson.
Yeah. Which was crazy because we had a customer not that long ago came in, and this guy's super cool dude out of Alabama. He brought his van up, and he's like, doing a bunch of modifications. I get to talking to the guy, and he's like, yeah, my son's a YouTuber, and so he kind of like bought me this van, and we help him out with the business and all that. I was like, oh, that's cool. What's your son's name? And he's like, yeah, his channel is The Almighty, and Scuba Jake is like the guy's name.
Sweet.
And Scuba Jake. So I was like, oh, cool. I was just like, checked out Scuba Jake on YouTube that night.
Yeah.
And like the first video that popped up was Scuba Jake going to dive for these bones I was like, dude, that's so crazy. I just listened to that podcast.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, the internet's wild.
And the people that you meet too, like being in this circle of adventure and like wonderful fanaticism and like trying to do what nobody else does, or if you find a cool idea, make it uniquely yours, just introduces you to more people that are doing that. So it's so much fun. I don't know if you share this, like the same enthusiasm of who's walking through your door. And for us, it's kind of like, who's coming to the show? What messages are we getting afterwards? And what are they saying? What are they bringing to the show? Like, are they there because they stumbled across it, or are they here because of that? Like, they're helping with the business, or the son's got a YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. Like, and then you just meet the wildest people.
Yeah.
I don't know. My favorite part is just like listening.
Yeah.
Like asking open-ended questions.
It's super cool when I get to step out and like meet a customer,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, how did you hear about us? Or sometimes I don't even ask, and they're just like, oh my God, it's so good to meet you. I've seen you on the internet for the last couple of years. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm not used to hearing that. And in fact, back to the gentleman that the customer whose son is the diver
Yeah.
on YouTube, that he was one of the main reasons I started doing more video. He's like, dude, you need to do YouTube. And
That's
I was
awesome.
I was like, man, I know, I just don't have time. And he's like, no, you don't understand. You need to do YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to help your business. It's going to help it grow. It's going to help your reach. Like, you have to do YouTube. And it was super cool. I uploaded a few videos after that.
Yeah.
And he commented on one of them. He's like, dude, you've uploaded more videos in the last month than you have since you had the channel. Like, good job.
Yeah.
It's super cool to see that. But
It is.
he was right, because so many people come in now and they're like, oh yeah, I've been watching all your videos on YouTube. And I'm like, you actually care to watch that? Like, that's awesome.
Hey, content is king. So it's like if you've got something to say that people want to listen to, they're gonna rabbit hole real hard. Like
Yeah.
like, and that's,
Well,
that's
but I
amazing.
think about it. I'm like, I do the same thing with the channels that I like to follow. Like,
Exactly.
I'm going to watch all those videos. I'm going to watch
Absolutely.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
I do it with, I don't really watch a lot of podcasts, but I listen to them because I'll work late and
Yeah.
or traveling and then just listen to a podcast. And I don't like a short podcast. You know, I'm like, dude, I want to be 3-4 hours. I'm like a Lex Friedman guy where it's like, I want to get into it, you know?
Yeah. Where's this going? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always bummed. There's a couple of podcasts, not always bummed, but like there's a couple of podcasts that I follow religiously, and one of them is like an hour tops. And I'm like, you guys are entertaining as all hell. Like, just
Keep it going.
once. Do an extended.
Yeah.
Because they always talk about like, bringing up a guest back or something like that. And they're like, we've taken too much of your time. And it's like, I totally get that. Like, we've taken too much of somebody's time because maybe they got stuff to do. But like, just once, see what happens if you do a long form.
Yeah.
Go 2 hours, go 3 hours, and see what the feedback is. And if it's awful, never do it again. Like, and if it's great, do it once every 2 months. You have a long form with somebody you've been dying to talk to, and it's a great podcast. Like, one of my new life goals is to be a guest on this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is it? Do you want to mention it?
I do. It's Smartless.
Smartless.
Yeah. And it's with Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes.
Okay.
Do you know those names?
Jason Bateman.
Okay, Jason Bateman, yeah, like most recently, like Ozark and Air, he's in that one. Will Arnett, he was in Arrested Development. He's the voice of the Lego Batman.
Okay.
He's been the voice of GMC for, like almost 20 years or something like that. And then Sean Hayes, Will and Grace, and some other productions on Broadway. He does a lot of live action there.
Okay.
And they're just absolutely hilarious, and they rip on each other in the most lovingly way possible. And their guests are incredible. Like, they talk to F1 racers, they talk to professional hockey players, of course, cinematographers, directors, other actors, people in the biz and their biz. But musicians. Like, I want to get on that one and be like, because I am so close to having listened to every single podcast they put out.
Wow.
Because it's so funny. So it's like it turns an 8-hour drive into an 8-hour comedy fest.
Oh, yeah.
And you learn things about people that you've been watching on the screen or listening to on your radio or whatever forever. So it's cool, man. It's one of those things.
So that's so we'll mention those in the comments as well.
Yeah, put that
those
in the
guys.
show notes for sure. Yeah. First stop, Adrenaline Vans Podcast. Next stop, Smartless.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're well on your way.
Yeah.
There's at least 37 people following this pod. So yeah, the word's gonna get out.
Quality over quantity, my man. That's where it's at.
Oh man. It is cool to see the following grow. And I don't really promote my YouTube page as much as I should probably. But like every day you get on and you I look at my website traffic and I just see like how my ads are performing for the business and things like that. And then I look at the YouTube channel, see what videos are performing well. And it's cool. Consistent growth. It's consistent, like organic growth. And it's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And I know it's working because people come in all the time and they're like, oh yeah, I watched that video on YouTube of the locker install or whatever it is that I did. And I'm like, okay, it is worth it to be putting this stuff together.
Yeah. I dig what you're doing, especially when you get into the technicalities of it. Cause it's like some of this stuff, it's Greek. Like, I don't understand. And I'm still watching it. And I don't know why. Like, I'm not putting a back rack on the van that I have, but I'm still watching how it goes on.
Right.
Like, anytime you have a van in the air, I'm in. I want to see. It's like peeling open the skin and being like, how does this all work? Because that's something I have no idea. Like, even Brooke showing me the brake line that was like twisted in a way that it shouldn't have been and fried. I was like, I had no idea that was even where a brake line went. Like, it's just, again, this is all back to like things you shouldn't do owning a Sprinter van.
Maybe,
but
maybe inspect your, I don't know.
And to know, full circle, inspect your van, know what to look for, and watch your YouTube channel because you're going to show people.
Yeah. Well, that's good feedback. I mean, because I kind of hate doing like walkthrough videos on technical stuff or filming. Like, I did that locker. I was like, install an AB air locker in 10 minutes. And basically it was like a time lapse or a really, sped up version of a locker install.
Yeah.
And I had to film the whole thing with one hand because it was just like me one night. So I'm like filming with one hand, doing the work with the other. And People love that video.
Yeah.
Which is great. You know, it sold us quite a few lockers.
That's great.
They're like, oh, that's way too freaking complicated. Yeah, you guys can do it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Good.
But yeah, I never really think that those are the most entertaining videos. And I guess people like to watch that stuff.
Sometimes people want to know how the sausage is made. Yeah.
I mean, you think about it though, people watch other people like put on makeup or eat
Oh, for sure.
food. So like, I guess there's an audience for everything.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When you're doing a descriptive video like that, do you ever struggle to find the words, or like you're trying to find the play-by-play, or first do this, then that, and you trip up a bit? Because like, I feel like from an outside looking in, it's second nature for you and for your crew, everybody working here. It's their job. So you're not used to having to explain something. And now you're on the camera having to explain it, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I know what to do, but how do I
don't, not too much on that. And it's
Okay.
probably just from having to train people
That's
on how
a
to
good
do
point.
it. So like
Yeah.
I've explained it to several people, you know,
Yeah.
I'm like always training employees on how to do the stuff we do. So maybe that's why.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't, my video stuff, it's not very polished. It's pretty raw.
Great.
And yeah, like you asked on the podcast, you know, before we started, you're like, so are there talking points? And I'm like,
Yeah.
hell no.
Yeah. Where's the dry erase board with A, B, C?
No,
Yeah.
dude. And that's what I really wanted with the podcast, was just like a conversation.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. It's like, I don't know. It's funny. It's a weird alternate reality, I think, being in a situation like this where you know you're doing something cool, but now you got to talk about it to help prove and legitimize and like quantify that you're doing something cool. And so it's weird. It's weird, but here we are. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, can I come pick up my van? I'm like, yeah. Can we record a podcast?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I didn't ride the bike here, so I'm going to have to get the van at a different time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was running out of time.
We're going to
It's
charge
like-
you for the oil leak on the ground out there.
That wasn't from me
Oh.
this time. It was from last time. So I still owe you. But
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it leaking oil?
No.
Not too bad?
Normal.
Normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure it's just your rear main seal. It's probably fine.
Okay. He just made that up. Rear main seal is not a thing. Google it. Somebody
Google
it.
that.
Alexa.
Fact check.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, just you guys are the best. And I mean that. Like, I've taken this van to several shops over the years, and it is always like this, you know, whimsical little unicorn that is destroying the van from the inside out, and I throw thousands of dollars at it. And then I take it to the next shop, and they're like, oh yeah, it's this thing that's doing this. And I'm not trying to like discredit other mechanics, because I've gone to some really great ones, and some other ones that are like, they straight up tell me, they're like, that's not worth it. Like I went to one in Jersey, and I was like, hey, I think there's something wrong with the brakes in the back, because I'll drive for a little bit, I hear scraping, and then all of a sudden, smash! And it's this thing that smashes into the back wheel of the van. And it ended up just being like a totally rush shot brake cover that was whatever keeps all the dust and grime and dirt out of there. Anyway, I took it to them, and they were like, yeah, this is bad. We're going to have to get it up on the lift and check it out. And I was like, great. When you do, can I walk under it with you and just point out everything that's going to go bad in the next like 30 to 50,000 miles? And they were like, absolutely. It was awesome. They were like, you want to know? I was like, please. I really do. Because like, I can't sell this van because I need it, and I can't get a different one. So like, let's just
want
keep
to like
going.
be prepared mentally.
Yeah. Like I have an idea.
Emotionally.
Mostly emotionally.
Emotionally, yeah.
Mentally, no, it's just like looking at it being like, so thank you.
So the way my bank account is set up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah. That's it. So thanks for
Yeah.
being you guys and pretty much doing the same and then some.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really
No,
appreciate it.
it's great having you here.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad you think so. Yeah. Funny, you were like, oh, the shop will be open soon. And I was like, well, if you need a pile of rust somewhere, just let me know and I'll put it in park and then drive away. Some will sprinkle out like a little magical little rust.
What,
little
maybe
rust
we can
outside.
shred the remainders, right? Bottle it up.
Yeah,
And you
he's
can-
right outside.
Hey, you can't hear. Like Whistling Diesel, he'll like destroy cars and then he'll shred them and put them in little baby food jars and sell them. Come on, it could be your next thing. You could sell it with your merch.
Oh, that would actually be pretty funny. see, like, do you want to buy some shredded Atlas?
Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh, that'd be pretty funny. Yeah. Well, hopefully no time soon.
No, we got to go. So 310,000 miles.
Yeah.
I think 750,000 is the longest that I've heard of.
Okay.
On a Sprinter.
Yeah.
It was like a fleet van. Of course, they've replaced the engine and transmission and all the normal bits by then, but the chassis, the body was original.
Wow.
So I don't know. I think you shoot for what, 450? What would you be happy with? What would you be stoked with?
Getting it home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bar is pretty low on that one. But like,
Okay.
if I like longevity wise, 400,000 miles would be epic.
Yeah.
Like if it is still an operating van, and like, I don't care how many dash lights are on, like it starts and it goes.
It's like a Christmas tree in there,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, what are you going to do?
It's
It's a light.
It's great. Didn't you say
You gotta let it
somebody
shine.
commented on your post the other day, your story, because all your lights were on? They're like, bro, your lights are on.
Yeah. It was like, hey, that's a lot of dash lights. And I was like, well, what's the point in having a light if you don't let it shine?
Thanks, Dick.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, you got to turn it positive.
Oh,
yeah,
right, of
absolutely
course.
turn it
Yeah.
positive. Yeah.
Mine that troll gold.
Yeah, and I can explain all of them. It's like the TPS monitor, like that has been on, I think, since the day that I bought it. I've gotten new tires on it, 3 times, and it's still on, despite promises from like anybody who works at the tire shops. And I don't care. Like I just check them when I need to check them and go from there. And then like the door ajar one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in Waukegan, Illinois, and the chain that secures the sliding door when it's open all the way and it's supposed to lock it in,
Yeah.
that got wrapped around the wheel. It's not really a wheel, but if you look at it, it's kind of like a caster or whatever.
Yep.
It gets wrapped around the part of that moves on the sliding door.
Yep.
So much so that I could not close the door and I couldn't open it all the way. It was like permanently going to be stuck about 1.5 feet open. I was like, I'm in Waukegan, Illinois, about to play a show for like 3 hours until midnight. The door can't be ajar the entire time. Like, this is my life. Hammer.
Yes.
Smash the plastic chain. And inside the plastic chain, which I did not know at the time, was a cable that is in charge of relaying information, including your door ajar sensor,
Yes.
and being able to lock your door with the key fob.
I'm so glad I did not try to troubleshoot that light
Yeah,
like,
no.
on my own.
Yep. No.
I was like, it's just like there's 7 lights on. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the issue there. So now it's just like the sliding door always has to be manually locked or unlocked. The tricky part is, which I don't totally understand, is the rear door will unlock with the key fob, but it will not lock with the key fob. So you always have to manually lock the rear door. It's one cable.
Somebody has an answer.
Someone post in the comments. So yeah, it's like, it's nuts. What else is on there? Check engine light.
Yeah, it's
That
fine.
is
Glow
equal
plugs.
parts. Yeah, glow plugs, and then a couple of different ones that deal with the exhaust, but I think it might have to deal with not having a tailpipe at the moment. I don't know.
Details.
Details.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not worried about it. Don't.
Yeah, it was like,
don't call the EPA or anything.
yeah,
You're fine.
no, it's cool. Yeah.
It's an 08, right? It's pre. No, yeah, pre DEF. Yeah. Is there a DPF on that?
No, there's no DPF
No,
on
that's
that.
great.
Yeah, yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Dodged a bullet there.
Dodged a bullet. Big one. What else is on? I think that might be it for now. Washer fluid.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. Hey, the new solar panel's still on the roof, so we're looking good there.
Great.
Yeah.
And you got wheels and tires now. So
Wheels and
you're-
tires. The wheels and tires. Yeah.
Did you take a photo of it? Like when you're
I
out?
took
I
so
watched.
many
I watched you walk out in the parking lot. I think I was
Yeah.
checking another
Took 2
customer out or
photos. I've
something.
already edited them. They're ready to
Damn.
post. I took a video.
What filter did you use?
I go through Photoshop Express on my phone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just
Wow.
a product plug there.
I'm a Lightroom guy, but that's fine.
There you go. Yeah.
Lightroom on the phone, Lightroom on the iPad,
Okay.
Photoshop on the desktop.
Cool.
I don't know why.
I've got the whole like cloud thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try out Lightroom.
I don't like Lightroom on the desktop. I hate the
Interesting.
interface.
Huh.
Maybe I'm just not proficient at it. Actually, I know I'm not proficient at it.
That's how I feel about Illustrator.
Yeah, I don't fuck with Illustrator.
Yeah. I do everything in Photoshop.
I
and
do
probably
Premiere.
should, yeah.
We were talking about this last time you were in,
Premiere's
actually.
wicked,
Premiere is cool. That's how I edit all my videos.
Yeah.
But I suck at it. I need to get better. I need to just dive into like the deep dive on tutorials.
Yeah.
I try every video I do though. I try to like learn a little something new, like another trick.
Another transition. Or
Yeah, or like today I did the waveform, like adding a waveform.
Okay.
So for the reel
Yeah.
or a story rather, I could have just the cover art for the podcast
Mm-hmm.
and like the waveform behind it. And I was so proud of myself. I'm like, oh, I got the waveform going to the audio.
That's pretty slick.
Baller.
Man. That's pretty slick. People see that and they're like, oh, this is a real thing. Yeah,
The next Peter McKinnon right here.
absolutely.
Not
Meter McKinnon.
Peter McKinnon. I've watched so many of that dude's videos.
He's-
You can
he's
go
a-
down the rabbit hole on that.
he's a wizard,
For
yeah.
sure. That guy is incredible.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what they eat, sleep, and breathe.
That's it.
Yeah, they're not fixing a van.
No,
Yeah,
he needs a van. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
he should. I'm surprised he doesn't have one.
PM edition Sprinter.
That'd be pretty sweet.
God, that'd be so sick.
It's got a bunch of cards on it and tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
Coffee. It would have to have like a built-in coffee maker.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
like spaceship style.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Peter?
Peter.
Yeah. He's a sub, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
probably not.
Oh,
well,
man.
I think we probably wrap it up.
Yeah?
Go drink some more beer.
Sounds great.
We're gonna do a little barbecue.
I'm in.
And I just seen like 4 people. This is really distracting, by the way. I'm really stoked to
I
have.
didn't know that this was a window. I thought this was like a TV,
Dude.
like a screensaver.
No, so like the new studio, the new Beat Lab
Yeah.
is upstairs. We'll go walk over there and take a look.
Yes.
It's upstairs, overlooks the mountains and the freeway, and
dude.
so it'll be far less distracting because you won't have like I'm literally sitting here talking to you, and then I
Yeah.
watch customers out of my peripheral like walk by. I'm
Right.
going, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah. That's wild.
It's all good.
Yeah. Well,
Dude,
dude, this has been a pleasure.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great talking.
Yeah.
And we'll see you Van Wild for sure.
Van Wild for sure, and around locally, in and out throughout the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some stuff in Telluride, Uray, Ridgeway, Junction, Palisade. What would be cool is to figure out if we could link up sometime when you guys are on the road, like if you're going to a motocross event or something like that.
Yeah, we're going to be in Loveland for the Overland Expo in August.
When?
The 3rd or 4th weekend of the month, I think.
Oh shit, we'll be in Montana that time.
And then Evergreen in July, I believe, for another van event.
When?
I'd have to look at the calendar.
Okay.
And then Hood River in June.
Oh,
Hood River, that's going to be cool.
June swamped.
Yeah.
Damn
it.
Yeah, dude, let's find a time to connect because that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be rad.
And I don't know, like, if this would be a totally self-serving thing, but like bringing the van around, not necessarily associated with adrenaline vans, other than just like the maintenance. But I don't know, like, if it would ever be cool to be like, yes, you have an overlander, you have a storyteller, you have whatever fill in the blank kind of van. You can get to 300,000 miles.
Out of these vehicles.
Yeah, like don't lose faith. Like keep this thing.
Right.
Because I see a lot of people, they do it and they're like, oh, it's just not for me anymore. And it's like, that's one reason to
Sure.
like get rid of it, or like the cost or whatever. But longevity is not one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are a little worried about the warranty thing. Like, I'm about out of warranty. It's time to get another one.
Yeah. Well, okay. One, call someone who could help you with that. For a dime a day, you could sponsor a musician and their van.
Okay.
Sarah McLaughlin.
Yeah,
Cue
get
Sarah McLaughlin.
Where's the sad puppy dog eyes?
Yeah, what was that song? My sister came out recently and was like, we had this whole screenplay about filming the van with Sarah McLaughlin playing in the
God,
background.
that's a great
the
idea.
Same exact way that she did for like
Yes.
the adopt a pets and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff, Humane Society. And be like, have you ever thought about what you could do for a dime a day?
dime a day.
Yeah, but like inflate it. Be like, have you ever thought what you could do for $1,000 a day sponsoring a musician in their broke down van? Like that kind of thing. And just, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. What is that song? Oh, Sarah McLaughlin. Sorry, I'm forgetting your song. It's been a while.
Somebody in the comments, please help us out.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
thank you. Where can people find you?
Easiest places to start is a launch pad. Just go to cousincurtis.com. Cousin spelt the way that you would imagine it being spelt as your family member, Curtis, Curtiss. There are 2 S's. I didn't come up with it, but it's mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Cousincurtis.com. And then, of course, like at Cousin Curtis on Instagram,
Yep.
Facebook, MySpace.
Follow the Instagram for the updates from the road.
Oh, the updates
Got
from
it.
the road.
Those are classic, dude.
Thanks, man.
Always makes me laugh.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
that's the goal. That's why I started doing it in the beginning.
It's great.
Yeah, I started doing that in 2014. And it was from
No shit.
sleeping in the back of a Toyota Tacoma, crunched up because it was a small bed.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, everybody, got a little update here for you.
Yeah.
And then it stuck. We're almost at like 10 years of that.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
That's
And now
awesome.
it's like a little
Now
bit
it's your
faster.
thing. That's like your thing, dude.
For better or for worse.
That's great. Awesome. Well, thanks for being on. Let's go eat
Thanks,
some food,
Tim.
man.
Yeah.
See ya. Cheers.